Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna do goo. There it is. It's right there. It's a hand sanitizer issue. So holistic review, psychic medium, reading about the FDA, the CDC, the DPH, the community matters, and all that stuff. So we haven't really done the show in a while. There really isn't much, especially during like cold and flu season. It is pretty standard to care, but there's something about this, especially the way that Savannah Guthrie's mother is still missing. So, as we're like collecting on it and like getting on through, there's something about her Millerone, and that's what I'm saying as our psychic. And when this happens, like, you have to keep up with your Millerone. And when that comes in on through, you can't actually like do it without it. So there's something very rooted and planted with holistic, and holistic with the H is that big, medical community. Now, as we're trying to merger properly with holistic with a W, which is your Reiki, your cranial psychotherapy, your chiropractic and stuff like that, alternative methods of healing, that you actually have to say, when you see tree, which is like rooted heavily, hedgehog, there's something about like a full on knowing. Was there compliance? Where does patients' rights come in? All forms of the meaning and the spelling. So when I see that there was an altercation and I see there was an argument, and then there was the call to 911, and you actually can't even like do it, DUE, like you can't actually go to it hard because it is her right to say, no, I don't want this, and start ripping everything apart. And they're like, well, she's not of clear sound mind. Well, maybe something else was going on. So as I'm looking at, these videos coming on through, as a former visiting nurse, I'd have to say, I wouldn't really go to that home right now. And even after hearing that there was an issue, it would be mandated to actually go out there as a visiting nurse to make sure, but at least give a phone call. I mean, that's what we used to do. You have to at least pick up the phone, especially with the insurance, and say, is everything okay out there? Now, why are we festering on this? Because there was something yesterday that, when you see this card Toad come in, it's about grotesque humor. And when you see this, there's like this transformation that came out through. When you see this and you see fate, and we're talking about, go look off the beaten path a little bit. That's kind of a little bit new on the way that we're doing the terminology. And when you see that there's something growing in Arizona that's not supposed to be there, and it really isn't marijuana or anything, it's really, really old and it really should not be there. That's what I'm saying. I'm also seeing, as I look at the windows, broken glass. To the night of broken glass, the crystal knock. So is it cultural appropriation or anything like that? Is this something highly criminal because you got the border? You know what I'm saying? There is a working together. There's something of a slow it down when you see news. I don't see like the hangman's noose or anything of that matter. There's something about divine splendor and craving. We were talking about Woodstock. We were talking about mushrooms. We were talking about like old wounds and illusions. There's something about power about it that came on through. When you see this and you see trickery, absolutely, you can't believe it. There's something about keeping up with the Joneses, money, complacency, and status. So when I see braid, I'm actually seeing something like normal, ritualistic. Like every Tuesday, I do this. And it had to do with justice. I feel like there's something that happened in the family in the past that actually needs like medical. So I can see why. So it really wasn't any like free will choice either. When I see this, appearances, society, gender, I'm seeing masculine energy more than feminine energy around that situation. But why is the FDA or CDC? I'm seeing more the DPH like wondering about this, but really it's more, believe it or not, more DEA. It's more DEA on like a throw and like a thin line through. It's white. I see two eyes. When I see two eyes, I see the rabbit. I see the rabbit, and I go, they just came out with a bunch of stuff. So when I see this and I see expansion, compassion, there's something about money, and there's something about creativity. I'm seeing pharmaceutical costs. I'm seeing why are the trees like every time I see that roof, I'm like, go check the pool. Go check the pool. When you see the moon card, it's a mystery. It really is. There's something about dishonesty. There's something about identity when you see this card. Something about identity. Ancient past history. Alamo. Curds and whey. Custard. This was actually an argument with one family member that I had about the Alamo, about General Custard. And they're like, no, that never happened down at the Alamo. I was like, no, it's General Custard. I see cactus and eyes. Drinking the water. Drinking water from the cactus water. On a full on bloom. Holistic, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful on what you take, especially when it's certain medications. There's something about belonging, and then again, tree comes out rooted. I see rock, sandstone again. So I'm seeing stone, regular medications, going all about. And when you do that, you can't even do and to and through on a bee, on a boo. It is a little bit mob, it's a little bit more mafia than what I can see. But basically, when you sit with it, they're like, no, it's old because she's wearing blue. Which brings me back to when my grandmother wore blue on a certain day. So when I actually see it, I go, did they win? Are they done? Did they win it? Is it true? So when I actually see this card Cauldron, I go, holy cow, you can't actually, like, there's something about fog and smog and like the dew rising. Again, like Yellowstone, like a reflecting pool. So why would we have to upon travel? Like you literally gotta like have upon travel. Now let's go with Starseed Oracle. Let's go a little bit softer. Ransom. On ransom. To email. There's something about it is already saying about her health. It's something about what are like normal capable of doing, especially her generation. It's talking about empty nest syndrome. Or they didn't take down the nest. Soul plan. She definitely had like a plan. Like, okay, this is the year I have to do this. It was like all planned out for herself. There's a reason why the sheriff's there. You see this, you go life lessons, soul growth, and like higher learning, and something about education, soul plan. Learn about something. And she's like, I don't feel that with her. But it's there. When you see this, you go pave a new path, be the leader wish you had. Alternative and ulterior motives. It's saying right there, Mars, anger, conflict, softening to love. Right there. I'm seeing more Saturn and Neptune. So when that comes in and you had the snow moon, and that's where it really was coming on through, how would the snow full moon on the 1st affect us? A line of gravity came down and like hit like a fisherman's hook. And when it came down like a fisherman's hook, like the Big Dipper, it came down right into that area to do conjunction and conjuncture down to Neptune and Saturn, where it came and flipped back up like the Northern Lights. And I'm seeing something like Skinwalker. When I see surrender holding the opposite to extreme life, there's something about a cavern still and spelunking. So when you go out and you have these hard, heavy medications, you have to plan for everything. Frequency. Humming. Energetic serenity, absorbing what is not yours. Unconsciousness of light. Something was just known. It was like passed by like heritage and culture. It was like normal. I'm definitely seeing that palm tree. I'm definitely seeing great oaks. I see great oaks. I go this. So this is how it is. So here I am talking about holistic, and it goes straight into that solution. 45 saline, 50K. I see a 50 plea. I see a 5K, down to a 5K. Then Tucson, Fruit Loops, 2% milk, 2% milk, ADA diet. Do you see how crime and criminal activity and like law enforcement and investigating goes into like medical really hard all of a sudden? Because they got to boil it down too. I wouldn't do labs or a petri dish. I would do like just a regular CBC. I see a white count and a platelet off. I don't see UTI, but UTI like a breakout. It was like a window of opportunity. He goes, are you like kidding me? You go, no, it's a free will choice. It's a free will choice. It's sovereignty. I can do this and I can do all of this. You can't even make it up. And you go, there it is. There it is. It's like she was like, I'm free. Like I can do this. That's the way that Nancy was, multifaceted, unique. She wasn't afraid to let herself be seen. But there was something about rock bottom, surrender to alchemy of life. And they were looking at them, they're like, I swear to God, I wasn't doing anything. But she looks very swollen in her face right now. When you see this and you see a light body crystal grid transmission, when you see inner child tenderness, innocent rare gifts, again, it comes out. It's really hard. When you see this and you see visionary inspired ideas, you can't even make it up. Power places, ley lines. So, okay, ley lines. The way we educate it again was if you look at the globe and then you look at like how it was in school and you got the lines. And then you go and you have your degrees. Those are like your ley lines. So for her, I don't know why, but you can't equate it out. Was there like a crucifixion? Because usually that is like when a crucifixion happens, especially it's mob, mafia, cartel, or anything like that, you can't equate it out. It's going to be really hard energy that you can't believe comes in and towards you. So I'm not like saying it's speculative, but that's what I'm saying as a psychic. There's some sort of crucifixion out there because I'm seeing the cactus. I'm seeing the water. I'm seeing the pool. Man, if it's a creative accountability, she had to show up. My will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. Longing for home, homesick for the stars, like they just knew it. Learning how to be human, a world out of it. I'd say I put that on the table. Hold on to that. Pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. Out there, she needed her vitamin D. The whole generation is sit outside by the pool, by the beach, and just take a rest. Can't make it up. Grounded in reality, hard grounded in reality. All right. What else do we need to know? How is this all gonna like tie in together, per se? So here it comes on through, and you got cold and flu season, and all of a sudden it's something different. Let's do the Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms. Okay, so there is something about legal, judicial, and military. There's something about contracts. There's something about like Seven of Wands where it is like hard and fast on through. So you have air energy and you have fire energy, and it sparked on up. So when it came on through with medical and all of that, you have to look at, what is true. Is this, and it's still not clear because you see, I have the Moon card. You got the Seven of Wands again. I'm not seeing insurance, but it is a per se. When I see this, I see the Queen of Cups in reverse. It is counterintuitive. It is something of a get-together that they're talking about that happened, a celebration. There's something about, there was like no deal on the table, like a game like a Michigan Rummy. Or a poker game, Poke Face. There's something about Poke Face. Five of Cups in reverse. Alleviation from loss, LOSS. There's something like as I'm waving this card like this, like energy around the senses. There's something about a marriage, a contractual. When you see this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, there's no skill to it. It was so easy. It was just like right there. Six of Wands came in as like quick victory. No Valkyrie. I keep hearing it. No Valkyrie though. Nine of Cups. Like the happiness and the way that everything was planned out for securement was prudent. It was really there. And if something came in that they just could not help themselves whatsoever. Eight of Cups. There's something about a gift with this card. There was a gift. There was something about like universal precaution, like severe isolation precautions. Something about balance, like just like all being balance. There's something about Two of Wands, like you couldn't even look out the window. When I see the Sun in reverse, very unhappy with those terms. Did not like that whatsoever. The Moon. It goes still like delusional. Four of Cups. You go, you can't actually do those things. The Star Fulfilled Wishes. Again, the Phoenix. That's your sign. That's all you need to know, the Phoenix. There's something about rising from the ashes. There's something about torch. There's something about a tiki torch. There's something about how you sit by the fire and you have a cookout at night or a bonfire. There was something about like ritualistic. So when you see the Knight of Cups, it was like fast emotions, like offering quickly. Here we go, Akashic Tarot. There's nothing written. There's a broken commitment. There's something about reflection. There's something, again, not documented. Like, word is your bond. All right. They're talking about the community out there where everyone's like, no, nope, not doing this whatsoever. When you see this, imbalance. They're like, nope, it's here again. Odd things. When I see Uriel and Sphinx, look at the national parks out there, the way the stones are. When you see this, it's no funny, the muse in reverse. When you see this and you go, on track, you can't make it up out here in Mansfield, Connecticut, we had derailment. When you look at this, the views of the ego, in reverse, opposing views that keeps coming out of two different worlds. Ill-fated meetings, past unknown, and then you go setting your course, like ill drifting apart. And it goes down to medical, the divine physician. And then the ascent. You go, where is this coming from? Holy cow. Again, this whole deck is like dictated out by the King of Scrolls. It's like what was not written, that was a contract, that was a bond, that was a tie. That I would have to say this snowfall moon did the cut on it. Like you can't either. I'm telling you, the universe was like, I had enough of certain things. Okay. Again, Phoenix and Dragonfly, whispers in the wind. Like this is a highly ritual. You're not going to find. I do see like a 2494, 224. It's like off grid but not off grid, and I'm seeing waffles like down to the diner. So let's actually just do like a little bit of remote viewing. You really can't go to. There's something about can and can do it and a no can do to dictate it out, and like don't even throw the baseball out there. Don't even do anything out there. It is so highly like reined in that you like I'm looking at Iran again. There's something like highly patriotic about this. When I see eagle, I'm actually seeing Flagstaff to to the flagpole and the gold ball on the top. I'm actually seeing like a snake, and this reminds me of Frank Hamer and Manny Gall. That man, those guys were so heinous as law enforcement and legally and lawfully because they were bit by a rattlesnake, snake bite, and they popped off so bad that they themselves landed into jail. So when that happens, and that the way that they were so intuitive. They were so what they would call collective. They were so good at law enforcement that they retired and they went, "We need you back." So, and then he's like, "You knew that you need me back. You knew it." So it was a game out there. I'd have to say, go look to old rooting of any like pockets and stuff like that of maybe some Bonnie and Clyde out there, because there's only certain things that certain people do, and it carries on through it. So when I see Firefly and I see Zebra and I see Stingray, there's something odd and rare. There's you want to say RNA, you want to say vaccines, but it's like that and it isn't. It's definitely like venom. It's definitely like a bite. It you can't make it up, or a prick. So when I see it and I see fish and I see shark, don't eat lobster out there. When you see hawk and then you see a lizard, like watch them. Then you have on TV, this is the way that certain things get put out, like cocky. So when you look at holistic and you go, what is actually going on? Because law enforcement and all of that is coming on through. Like, no, boil it down. What do you see that's tangible? What are their labs? What is everything on how they're responding? And that's all you need to know. If it's any money, there's something about that. So, I mean, let's actually like bring up a picture of Bonnie and Clyde. Let's look for Bonnie and Clyde. Here we go. There it is. There's picture. Here we go. So all you need to know is that she was like for lack of a better term, she was creature-like, and she was married to him, but she was not married to him. It was a marriage of convenience. It was a doll. It was a puppet. It was. You see how it like kind of like goes on through, and the way that that criminal was on their own. If anyone understands what own was, they're like da, 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 and they would pop you off in your own. So when you actually look at this and they're like, it's still running through, yeah, that's how strong they were. So when we look at prohibition and you look at spirits, they were looking for what that firelight was. Like you couldn't even make it up. So here he is, he's looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, I said, he was like starting to talk tongues. And he goes, and they could understand him. You understand that? They went to grotesque humor. Now, let's go back here. So here's her. She was a runner. So when someone is running or when they're a criminal like that, they are so fast paced on their energy that it was hard to catch up with her. So she did because she was a steel in her leg, like tea and rebar. You couldn't even make it up. I mean, you can look at the documents and history. So when I see this, and he's got his 45 gauge right here, that's his 44G. What was he doing? Wasting money. He was probably doing heroin or cocaine. So you got a full unknown. She was doing meth. That's what we said. They were well preserved. Why? Because they're already dead upon arrival. So then we have the story out here where we had an incident of someone who had passed away, and we have the inspector general and stuff like that. What were they doing? They did a concoction that made meth. So do you see how fast like it goes? And they're like, oh my God, justice wasn't served. We didn't go to court. We didn't do this. So when it goes down to holistic and you go into the doctor and they're only there for maybe observation and it's really quick, they go, no, there was actually probably more than enough than what we needed, even at face value. Now, I'm not saying it's a case closed or anything like that, and I'm not really putting myself out there, but I mean, this is what I'm seeing as a psychic medium, intuitive, and based on my experiences. So let's look at these guys here. They were pretty cantankerous, and they were cantankerous because they had been through a lot. And when they had been through a lot, they had been through no. So this is like me. So I mean, you know it, but you can't do, and you can't do, and you can't like boo. See you later, and see you later, and bye, goodbye, see you later, bye, and done, and BMA. And when you do that, you go, you can't even do. And when you see this, you go, it's a full on through. And full on through, you go, holy cow. See, he was already like, I'm already right there, and I already know what the solution is. And he goes, I think I need to see right through this. And he was like, I think I know this, I think I'm going to give it. And he goes, I think I'm going to do this. So that is how hard like a medium can actually like look through someone else through the picture. So when I'm looking at these guys, I'm like, these guys are hilarious. They give you guys a gift. They already knew. That's how psychic they were. They just put it on forward on a carry on out as a gift. So I have to say, what I had experienced through me being as a nurse and healthcare provider, and then everything that came on through to everything, to how it was with me. I mean, you can't even boo me anymore. You can't like even ghost me. You can't even see me whatsoever to be the done. So some patients might actually be like that. So when you walk in and you say, you know, oh my God, the prices are down, and oh my gosh, when we actually put it into like tangible, or, I have to give up that insurance because they couldn't come to contract terms with the hospital, and they go see on through it. So when you do a see on through it, like, you just can't even make it out. Like, they just can't actually do it. That's all you need to know. Let's look at another picture of these guys, because they really are funny on how they caught them doing do. They literally caught them doing do because they were that low. Here, that one's a little bit harder. Okay. So you can see that the way that their hands are, they had been dinged and hit. So actually, this guy, I would be looking at him and I'd be like, nope, just put him in a hold of cell. And he was like, you're a little loose. I think we need to bring you home. And he goes, I think we need to get you to medical and you need to be at rest for like a year. And he goes, I need to continue on for maybe 12 more months, and I just can't do this anymore. You just can't whatsoever. Let's go through a couple more, because it really is related to holistic. So what do we need to know about Bonnie and Clyde holistic community? A fly by night. That's going to come up in the next week. A fly by night. It was due. It definitely union as it relates to what we're seeing with this incident with a missing person. And when you look at it and you go, what else? What else? Or something more images. Let me see if we can find another. The barrel filling station. That was I can't even. You're gonna make me say it. I swear to God, in mediumship, FOT spot. Basically, it was nasty water that they drank of defilement, as they said. So then you see people who are homeless and at this point, and they're eating anything and everything. There's something about like kindness. There's something about I don't know why this one is coming up. Mediumship. Looking at this. What do we need to know about these guys? They were old. You got Siegel Rosen, fighting a bomb. That there was something about them and like medical union with them. There it is. So he was a known. Means he could see well at night. Frank Hamer. Or known. There's something still driving me in mediumship about holistic. What do we need to know? Let's see if we can pull out a card and try to simplify it here. Well, we try to channel them a little bit. Like, here we go. There was 9 of them. There was 9 that worked on that team. It was really hard. They were low. Maybe a couple dollars left. All you need to know is about like regeneration. There was something about heart. There's something about stent placement. There's something about bypass. There's something about heart. There's something about elevating. There's something about passion. Something about a trend, and going on through. When I see this, I see dolphin play. There was a game about it. There's something heard, like intuitive hearing, that they could hear in the 20s. It is like the humming that they talk about, that odd phenomena, but it was like stealth like, very quiet. There's something about service and self-service. So I'd say like pay per visit, Cobra insurance. There's about something like it just pops in your head, service, like you can do it. When you see this, you go expansion, compassion, telepathy. Sacred union marriage. Yeah, there's a contract. There was a contract. It was due. This snow full moon opened up a portal and came on through. Watch the diet, honey, because you can't do it well. When you see it and you see the service come in and you see the light of day to like the known to the like everything onto rooted. Oh my god, the audio is awful. To motherfucker like rooted star royalty. Holy cow. Frequency and her song of your soul. Oh my god, and forgive me, I just gotta. Then the star family comes out. Then the golden egg. Do you see how this is with medical? Like everyone starts coming in. When you see Maya, like it erupts, so you see natural explosion, eruption, and you go, the earth like exploded, imploded within. When you see remembrance, like I've been through before, and set your vibration, creativity, I bet you everyone who is medical right now who might be watching this is laughing because they can see this on like a general med floor or something or a critical care unit. The mothership comes in, the ambulance, and you go, and he goes, "Yep, there it is." It all popped off because they signed their contract. United Healthcare or Blue Cross Blue Shield. Oh, when I see the star centers and this is all the emergency rooms and walk-in clinics as timeline jump, compassion, and you go, oh my gosh, everyone when this happens starts coming on through when you can't actually like do it, you can't even see it. It comes in, so all of a sudden they're flooded with 911 calls, and like the universe is doing it. There's no criminal activity inducing it. Yeah, I swear to God, people wake up with certain events like this. And when you see dream time and you go energy work and taking a chance to the galactic core, their own, to the fifth dimension, like it popped in it was in the back of my head. I knew I had to do it. Going right on through for the rest of the cards, expansion, compassion. They all know it, causing it. They're passionate about their health. It was due. It was due to come in, and that's all you need to know. So with that being said, let's just close out here. I'm really not drawn to the runes. I feel that'd be hard on press. Really hard on press. Let's close this out. I'm gonna stop sharing here. There we go. So with that being said, that's all we have to say and to do for today. Any questions or concerns, leave a like, a comment, a share. It's greatly appreciated, and we'll push on through, and we'll talk to you later.